as part of our ongoing initiative, Chasing the Dream, Poverty and Opportunity in America. Our coverage of the fight between the New York City Housing Authority and residents of their city housing takes us to the Redfern houses in Far Rockaway, Queens. Tenant Association President Glenn Collins took us on a tour of the damage and neglect at the housing he calls home. This is his firsthand account. Let's take a look.
Right now we're in Far Rockaway, Redfern, Far Rockaway, you know, the other side of Queens. And what we're doing is trying to shed light on what's going on in our community for the work that's not being done. People paying rent for services that they're not receiving. My name is Glenn Collins, and I am the Tenant Association President of Redfern Houses. And what we do is disseminate information, and we are liaisons between the people and NYCHA.
Crossed me up.
We have a lot of issues that need to be addressed.
How y'all doing? As you can see, the lights is on in the daytime. When they're out, when we need them on at night, they're not. Because they're not in sync with the city lights.
You can literally smell the mold as you enter the building. This doesn't need a ticket. Look. It's the primary staircase. That ain't overnight. That look like bread mold too. So we have an electrical box with water damage behind it. Obviously, nobody cares, right? There's cracks in the walls, literally. So someone's ceiling or in their floor up top may be at jeopardy. The number one thing that I think we can actually utilize, communication between residents and NYCHA, period. Mold literally hanging from the wall, from the ceiling, more water damage. No one should have to live like this.
The problems that are created by the heat now is you can't control it. You can't turn it down, you can't turn it up. Also, the pipes generate mold. So when the steam goes through it, what comes out with the steam? This is what we're breathing in. When you leave your apartment and the outside of your apartment is worse than the inside of your apartment, how would you feel? It literally looks like New Jack City in some of these buildings.
That's a safety issue. It's not even connected.
Most of these people that work for NYCHA don't live at NYCHA that make these decisions for us. And we're not even at the round table to discuss what's bothering us and what you're doing to help us or not help us.
Fox 5 and Hot 97 present Street Soldiers.
I had to go to Hot 97 to speak to the controlling executive officer of NYCHA.
What's it been like for you, Glenn? You've made calls and complaints specifically about your apartment?
Calls, complaints, development complaints, individual complaints, emails, text messages, everything we could possibly do under the sun.
Go ahead, give us a big picture here.
I think it's really important both to talk about the specific development that Mr. Collins and his family reside in and the broader portfolio issues.
I don't know if she turned down the option of coming to Far Rockaway to speak to the people, because honestly, if we're at 97 in Manhattan and we're in Far Rockaway, I don't know anybody that can see that far. So how can you actually see what's going on if you won't even come? If people are behind in their rent and they get taken to court, but NYCHA has been shown to embezzle millions, all people do is resign, that's a problem.
Doing great things for
Trying
the community, man.
Trying
Definitely.
to.
I saw you on TV, Hot 97. Yo, keep doing it, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
Trying to, man.
Absolutely. Respect it, man. Love.
Thank you. I lived here from 1984 until presently. Hurricane Sandy happened. We had no representation. The elevators and stuff didn't work. A lot of people ain't have power. Not to mention, my son just came home from his third and final open heart surgery. My wife is she's insulin dependent, type 1 diabetic. So no electricity, no refrigerator, no insulin. Being that we had no representation, I felt that somebody had to speak up for the people.
We do have people that are single, We do have families, we do have the elderly, we have a mixed bunch, and we are a community first. We need to take our communities back because they're being stripped away from us. And we need the community of public housing residents to be more involved with the New York City Housing Authority rules and regulations, especially when they're being made.
Q man, don't hurt nobody. If you feel like you're alone and you're talking on deaf ears, what will it do to you? You'll eventually get numb to it and think that it's okay. This is your everyday life when it's actually not. See this right here? Somebody got shot at, and it has yet to be done. Nothing has yet to be done. Intercom systems don't work. As you can see, the door is wide open. You know, the reputation of public housing before you get here is like, well, people that live there don't care about where they live at and everybody's on welfare. And no, it's not like that. People actually want to get out of the poverty. They know people with disabilities live in public housing. While we don't
It's not
have
that easy
handicap
with me.
accessibility, first of all, I'm not even in your shoes. And it hurts me to know what you have to go through.
With my groceries, it's not easy to hold the door open and just push my leg, and my left leg is weak. But I have to do what I gotta do to bring meal ticket to my kids, you know, food for my kids to eat and me.
Residents are responsible for contacting the planning center and calling skilled trades. When we call in a ticket, it goes to the superintendent. The superintendent's supposed to send a maintenance worker to our apartment to verify what we requested. A lot of people want to get work done because we have got the media's attention on what's not being done and what should have been done. But for some reason, they didn't take us serious when we were actually just trying to do everything internally. So maybe this is what we need every day. There is no excuse why things aren't being done in your apartment. Not just because of your condition, just because you're a human being.
You're right.
Who reached out to you?
No one.
Why?
They don't bother me, and I don't bother
Do you have your ticket
them.
numbers?
Yes, I got my ticket
Can I
numbers.
please have them before we leave?
Sure.
You can literally see a little bit of rebar coming out from the floor.
I got some written down in my little book, and I got what I did with my rent since I live here. I recorded everything. I don't know what's going on with NYCHA, and I don't know what's going on with the management, but it's very hard.
Wouldn't it be better if people that lived here worked in this complex as caretakers and then had room for growth to know that there was an insurance policy where they could be taken care of?
They represent us, but they don't want to come here and talk to us about anything that's going on. I got a question for NYCHA officials. You don't want to be criticized by residents? You don't want to know who you're representing? We would love to know. But if you give us answers, we can't assume. But being that no one is saying anything, what are we left to think about?
We have invited NYCHA on the program and are in the process of coordinating a date for their appearance. We'll continue to cover these ongoing and very important stories as further news on NYCHA and its effects on New York City's residents unfolds. If you live in NYCHA housing and are in need of assistance or repairs, please visit us on metrofocus.org for information on where to get help.